I'm gonna claim you on my taxes, man.
No, please do.
We together a lot.
Right.
That was a joke. We all ready?
We are. Yes, sir.
All right. Good morning, everybody. We made a promise to you. We kept our promise. We delivered on that promise. Members of the 8th District, led by the commander and assistant commander and the detectives that are with us today, have made the final arrest. Okay. All right. Good morning, everybody. I'm here with the commander and assistant commander and detectives of the 8th District. We made a promise to you. We've kept that promise, and now we've delivered on that promise. The final 2 suspects who we had warrants on yesterday are now in custody. Thanks to the hard work of the men and women of the 8th District and the work of our violent offender warrant squad, we have all 4 subjects under arrest and custody for the armed robbery that occurred over this weekend. And so our officers are being very, very, very proactive. We're not waiting for the fight to come to us. We're taking our enforcement and our fight to the criminal element. And so I'm proud of the members of the 8th District. They've worked diligently to not only solve this case, but to make the apprehensions and to bring these people in custody so the victims could have justice and some comfort. And I'm going to turn it over to Commander Gernon, who can speak about how that all happened.
Yep. So last night, members of our plainclothes unit were out on patrol looking for these individuals along with every other member of the 8th District, and they located Rashad Piper at a business in the 800 block of Contai Street. They took him into custody without incident, and he was arrested and booked into the lockup. And then early this morning, members of the Violent Offender Warrant Squad received a tip from a Crime Stoppers tipster who informed them where they might be able to find the last individual, Nicholas Polgowski. Acting on that tip from the tipster, they were able to locate him, arrest him, and he was also taken into custody without incident, and he was booked early this morning, being the 4th and final individual who we had wanted for this attack which occurred on Saturday night. So all 4 of the individuals that we believe are responsible for this crime are in fact in custody right now, and it was based on the hard work of the detectives here in conjunction with our vials unit and a lot of help from the public coming forward and give us the information that we really needed to be able to put this case to bed. And then in addition to everything that was happening last night, we also had an attempted robbery that occurred on Burgundy Street, an attempted armed robbery, and the officers responded to that so quickly that they were able to apprehend all 3 individuals that were responsible for that armed robbery as well, 2 adults and 1 juvenile, and we'll be able to get you those adults' information in a future press release. But you know, the officers are out here. They're not just focused on this one crime. We're out here, we're engaged, we're responding, and we're doing what we can to keep the people in this community safe. And I think that demonstrates that although we've been focused on this one incident, there have been other incidents in the 8th District, and we continue to respond and make apprehensions on those so that we can try and create a safer environment for our community.
So the big point is the officers are aware, they're alert, they're engaged, and we are being very, very proactive. And we want not only the citizens of the 8th District to know that, but all of the citizens and visitors to New Orleans, that we've been very proactive, not only to make you safe, but to make you feel safe. And so look, congratulations. We want to thank the members of the detective unit here at the 8th District who work so hard. This is the value of video, and this is what's coming to the entire city. We're going to have video in 20 different hotspots around the city, license plate readers, and we'll have a number of tools in our toolbox to help us identify people and solve crimes just like we did with this one. Those tools are forthcoming, and that speaks to the value of video, but it also speaks to the value of community partnership and participation. Video that came in, but information that came in from members of the community to help us identify and apprehend 4 violent offenders.
Is it 20 hotspots in the French?
20 hotspots around the city.
Piper was picked up, you said, a business in the 800 block of Contai. Was that his place of employment, or were they harboring him, or was he just there randomly?
I think he was there hanging out.
And where was Pogozowski picked up?
Near the Walmart on Chapatoulas.
Was he just hanging out there too, or hiding there?
We got information from a tipster that led us to him there, and we found him there.
So where do you go from here? I know there's an editorial in the paper this morning by a local businessman whose business has happened in front of, that came up with some ideas about possibly having maybe another private, semi-public-private patrol in the area, raising pay for police officers to get 500 transfers and sort of thing. Do you have any ideas on where to go from here, how to take this as something, a rallying point to move forward?
We're always looking at ways to flex our manpower. We're always looking and assessing how to add more staffing. One thing we do not ever want to do is lower standards. Certainly we're working with recruiting to bring new officers on. We have a good plan that's going to be coming to you in the near future for retention. We're always talking about pay incentives, infrastructure improvement, working conditions improvement, making the NOPD a great place to work for retaining our good officers. But we have great relationships with private security companies, with other law enforcement agencies, and all that here in the quarters coordinated through the commander in his crime meetings every week. So we're always working on that, always trying to flex, make ourselves bigger, so that we can be in more places than one. That works. It's a great deployment strategy, but we're always looking to improve on it.
See whether Facebook played a role in your investigation. These were young people active on Facebook. Do you reach out to their contact?
So Facebook sometimes plays a role in investigations. In this case, it was not a significant one.
Last night there was a group of ATVs that flew through Decatur Street. We got video of it at the station. What's going on with the ATVs, and how do you stop that, particularly in the French Quarter when they're zooming by a bunch of tourists?
First of all, it's very dangerous. It is illegal. When citizens see that, they should notify us. To the extent that we can, we try to stop them when officers see them, but it has to be done in a safe way, because that vehicle should not be on the road. And what we are trying to do is get them stopped, cited, and/or arrested in a way where they don't flee and turn it into a high-speed chase where they either commit harm to themselves or other people in the general public. So we're always working to do that and take that enforcement action, but in the safest way. What we can do is try to create traps for them where we can trap them where it doesn't turn into a high-speed chase where they become injured or get killed. But that's a very difficult thing, and it takes a lot of manpower. But it is something that every district works on every day.
What's the latest on Mr. Burns' condition, and what are your thoughts on these charges perhaps being elevated against these four individuals?
I don't have any updates on his medical condition, and I have not yet spoken to the district attorney's office about elevating any charges. I think all of those things are forthcoming.
One more. We talked about how brazen a lot of these crimes are. This one that was put on video, somebody put some video up on Facebook. Kids just pulling door handles in Lakeview left and just walking down the street. Are criminals getting more brazen when it comes to committing crimes, chasing somebody down the street or just walking through a subdivision and pulling door handles, trying to break into cars?
Kids and adults alike are doing that. I don't know that speaks to the brazenness of criminals just pulling on door handles, but I think criminals are more brazen generally, not just here, but everywhere. And they fear the consequences. But let me just send a message to them. You're going to pay for what you do, and there are consequences to your actions. And if crime is the life you choose, then I'm going to see to it that prison will be the price you pay.
Thanks, everybody.
All right. Thank you.
Hey, Bo.